press the bell icon for no.
Yeah, all of you left side. One more. Look your front, sir. Yes. Front looking. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, sir. All of you center here. Front. Yes, sir. Yeah, all of you left. One more. The center, please. Yes.
Okay, now the script went alright, and I think Kaizi, my dear Kaizi, let's give a big hand to Kaizi, because she's a model, and I hope she goes far, and maybe we'll play one of the girls someday.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kaizi.
It's been a great pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being a fantastic audience. If anybody would like to buy the book and get it autographed, you may go to the billing counter and pick up your coffee.
No Q&A for the audience?
We are running short of time, sorry.
Maybe just...
Just 2-3 questions.
Hello!
Sir. Khalid sir. Sir, either right. Sir, right here. Sir. Karan sir. यहाँ पे Khalid sir. Sir, यहाँ पे. Oh my God! How are you? Yes, sir. Particular mind.
क्या पता?
हाँ, thank you. Please.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Another pair.
Would you like to say a few words on this?
Sure. To launch the book, we actor and star Anil sir, who is incurably self-effacing, considers himself a student of cinema, despite of winning countless awards and our unstinted admiration. Perhaps I'll be echoing the sentiment of all when I say, Anil sir, you rock and are an inspiration for fitness and fabulousness. Book lovers, let's put our hands together for them.
And
Those wonderful words that you shared about AK and me. I'm the one who has
surprise appearance.
No, I have written.
Yeah,
Well, I have actually I asked for this absolute honor to introduce this legend of a
exactly,
man.
that's what I
And what do I say about Javed Saab? He's like a father to me. I've grown up in his august presence, and I say this very proudly in the month of October. Javed Saab is what do I say, a bona fide legend a wordsmith, someone who's crafted eras of Indian cinema, has created movie stars and characters that still breathe in the annals of Indian cinema. Javed Saab is actually not just an individual, not just an artist, but an entire institution. An institution, a legacy that his proud children have taken forward with strength and continue to do so. Every word that he has ever created, every sentence that he's ever written, every single nuance that he's brought to Indian cinema, to literature, to poetry, is something that will always be irreplaceable. Javed Saab, as in Javed Akhtar, is irreplaceable. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the living legend, Javed Akhtar.
All right, Mr. Margot's gone missing, so will you please join us? Yes. Okay, sorry, couldn't see. Light's too strong. So Karan.
Honor to be on this dais. Of course, what Karan said for Javed Saab. Today I'm here standing in front of you all because of him. And if it was not for Javed Saab, I wouldn't be here. The journey started with Javed Saab in Mashal and still continues. I'm like a family member. And as I've always looked up to him, and it's an honor to be on the same dais with Javed Saab. Khalid, of course, is a dear friend since many, many years, and still remains a very, very close friend, and I hope that we all are friends forever. Thank you, Khalid, very much. I was his dad, but we could never work, but now I'm working with him. I'm very happy that we're doing a film called Duck. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you, Varun, for making me part of it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Very good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for inviting me, Khalid. Khalid is a very, very old friend, and I knew him before meeting him through his reviews, and obviously they were not only incisive and analytical, but extremely witty. And if you can write well, you will write always well. So I have not read the novel, but I will. So at the moment I can't talk about it because I have realized that human brain is a strange thing. You know, it starts working before you are born. And it keeps working. Even when you are sleeping, the brain works. It starts dreaming and so on. But the only time the brain stops working is when you try to talk about a book that you have not read. So, I'm in that situation. So my best wishes to Khalid. And thank you very much, Karan, for saying such wonderful things about me, and thank you, Anil. And for a while I was getting confused whether he has written the novel or I have written the novel. So let's get rid of this idea. Thank you very much.
This chat, which is a freewheeling chat, and you know, with all apologies, we're going to keep it candid, so that, because that's the spirit of Khalid Mohamed. Even though he tries to look very dapper in his grey suit, there's a candor, candidness, and there's a, well, I won't say the other adjective that is floating in my head right now, because it's a very civilized event. I want to date back and quickly say,
I want to know the word.
No, I'll tell you. I'll message it to you later. I want to start by saying that Khalid is one of my, not oldest literally, but one of the closest people I knew. When I was 12 years old, I became really close to Khalid, and one of the few people I know who's attended my parents' wedding. And my absolute admiration for Khalid began when I started reading his reviews, because they were not only, like Javed Saab mentioned, you know, analytical, and you know, they were completely academic in their approach to cinema, but they were hysterical. They were funny. And today, when you read Me Too's and Me 3's and Me 33's of reviewers who are actually trying to kind of circumvent analysis with humor, you realize that the origin of that is actually here, Khalid Mohamed. He was the first person, actually, when it comes to media, that began writing about cinema with a sense of humor. You know, of course, sense of humor was invariably at the cost of the film and the filmmakers, but that's just, you know, I suppose it's more fun when you watch a bad film. It's no fun praising a great piece of work, because then all you do is praise it.
I praised Kavi Khushi.
Yeah, you did, thank you. I think there was bias there, but I adore that bias. So I got really good reviews from Khalid, and maybe that's because the reason why I'm sitting here. But I have to say that Khalid truly was a force of nature where it came to media and journalism, and continues to be. Sometimes dormant, sometimes active, but always a force of nature. So Khalid, congratulations for everything you achieved in screenwriting, in media, and now as a novelist. So I have to ask you first, that you've done it all, written it all, been there, done that, as they say. But what was, and I know that this is a compilation of pieces and parts of your life, your childhood, your memories, your lineage and legacy, but what was that one point, or rather I would say that immediate source of inspiration that actually prompted you to put down the Aladia sisters?
So my force has been my grandmother, and the book is dedicated to all the grandmothers of the world, because I was brought up by her. So, but this is not their story. I've already told it in Mahmood Sadari Begum and Zubeda. So I've gone out of my body and mind and investigated a lot of Muslim women. Women I knew from childhood, and subjected them to an investigation. Of course, like I was speaking to Javed Akhtar about the novel, so he says, you know, even Prince Charming, when you tell it, has its own subjective interpretation. Or Sleeping Beauty, there is a bit of me in it. Or, again, to borrow his words, you may take someone's nose, you may take someone's eyes, you may take someone's lips and body and create a whole new person. So, this may be read as an autobiographical book, but it is not, and it is. So, I'll leave that mystery to the reader.
Gets into, and this is just purely because you're such an astute and your emotional quotient is so high, how do you react to when a critic himself is now going to be open to criticism? Now he has been a screenwriter and he's written some very credible pieces of work, and now he's in a totally different terrain. And you know, there is a thing, there is a psyche that surrounds us that like, I mean, these people write anything, but you know, like, tell them to go write a film, which is an unjustified accusation because that's the job. A critic is meant to then, you know, point out and analyze the piece of work. Now he's going to be open to criticism. What is your take and thought on that?
Well, I think best of the doctors can be found in ICU sometimes. After all, they are human beings. But yes, you see, criticizing something is something else. That's easier. But when you are producing it, when you are starting from point zero, when a blank paper is in front of you and you have to write the first word, that is very, very difficult. And doing it yourself, if I see a painting, I can, to some extent at least, appreciate the painting or find some fault in it, and when it's color scheme or structure. If you ask me to draw a line, I can't draw a straight line. So appreciating or assessing something is one quality, and it can be in some people. But to do it yourself is another thing, as you have said. I am only repeating what you are saying. So again, now you're on the test.
David, you know that now this is a new, you're going to like walk the talk, as they say, and you're going to enter totally new turf and terrain. And of course there are people, you know, we have prominent novelists and people in the world of literature in India and globally who have, you know, created like such large spaces for themselves. And this is your first foray into being a novelist yourself. Are you, is there some kind of fear, apprehension about the feedback that is going to come your way?
I don't think books are reviewed much nowadays. There are some papers which do it, and there will be trolls, there will be funny remarks on Amazon, and yeah, I can take it. Like I remember when Fizza was made, it was called bullshit, and Mr. Subhash Ghai gave it 2 stars, and so is Mr. Subhash Ghai can be a critic? Why can't a critic be a Mr. Subhash Ghai? Yeah. So in a manner of speaking. But I'd like to turn this over to Anil right now, and he used to get very furious with me with some reviews and wouldn't talk to me. I missed him during those days, but then we always patched up. So, do reviews hurt? Did my
So would you want some film people to review your novel?
Yeah, I mean, I'll get more hits for that, I'll get more sales for that, Mr. Mago will profit, and I'll be happy.
Shall I speak to Kalanchi?
I don't think that's a word you will be whistling in very soon. But anyway,
Well, no, ask Zoya actually, or, Farhan, if they can. I'll be very happy with the reviews.
oh God, you want Zoya to review your book? So really, are you ready for that? Javed
Sure.
can you just give a disclaimer to that?
If I can be ready for Subhash Ghai, I can be ready for anyone.
Okay.
You're not even a father.
AK, back to the question that did his reviews hurt? And can you remember anything caustic he said about you?
Well, of course, there were quite a few films. Of course, which comes to my mind is Beta, and
Which
Where-
won the Filmfare Award.
which I won the Filmfare Award, and so that was a film where he gave me a bad review. He said we called Beta Beti, and
And I just said he was a feminist.
and fortunately for me, I won the Best Actor award, and the film was a huge success. And of course, Lamhe, Lamhe, I remember, was quite devastating, and for Yashi, for all of us, because the review what Khalid gave was not very positive, and he compared the film to one of Gulzar's houses. I remember it so well, and that was awesome. And of course, after I think many years, I think almost after 25 years, Khalid sent me a message saying I was wrong, because the film is very, very good film. So sometimes it's your state of mind, when you're watching the film at that moment you feel, like for example I've seen Joker, but there are few reviews, 99.9% reviews have been phenomenal, but there are few reviews which are not very positive, and that surprises me because I love the film. So these things happen. So obviously now time has passed, so I've become much more thick-skinned where reviews are concerned, but earlier when you start your career, you're quite sensitive. And there are certain films which you have really worked very, very hard. And you know the filmmaker and the entire team, the kind of effort they put in. And then you read the review and you feel a little upset. So these are two films I remember.
What do mothers and fathers have to do with anything, really? But yes, I did not react to it then, and I really think critics should admit the mistakes, because we are not really writing things cast in stone, and we are wrong at times, and I believe I've done that to a few films and I've acknowledged that. I think I gave Rajkumar Hirani's first Lunabai film just 3 stars, it deserved 4. So when I look back, and luckily I saw this on one of these OTT platforms, and I said, wow, things are happening here. And I must admit there was a bit of a sentimental effect that day, because I saw it on the day Devi passed away, so that film became monumental suddenly. And his performance was something else. I mean, whenever I shave my mustache off, I think, oh my God, now I'm looking like Anil Kapoor. So I mean, in a very bad way.
No.
I would say it hasn't crossed my mind. I mean, when I was seeing all the characters, I thought, oh my God, this is Netflix or Amazon, whatever. But to be honest, I have met a lot of people from the streaming channels who come and they take me for good lunch, and then they want me to sign a MOU, saying you won't discuss this with anyone else. The money they offer is peanuts, and I'm going to be the creative consultant, which is fine. I don't want to be there on the set shooting web series. But, and there are a lot of middle agents involved. So I already got like, okay, can we read the advance copy? I said, no, okay, let it come out, maybe you like it or not. But don't call me, please, if you just want to give me a free lunch. And those lunches are nice, but that's frustrating.
Because there are no free lunches.
Well, I don't know. There's scrambling my brain. For instance, I was called by 3 OTT channels to do a version of The Feud with the 2 sisters.
Right.
So they wanted somebody like, the characters to be, and I swear this is told to me by 3 channel people. Somebody like Hema Malini and Zeenat Aman to have a clash. Okay, so, and why me? Because I was there in the 70s. So, 75, 76. So, this Javed Akhtar was again pointing out to me that there are just 3 people from the 1970s working in cinema today, which is himself, Rishi Kapoor, and Amitabh Bachchan. Isn't that right? Okay.
And good.
And number 4. Okay, so let's get Anil involved now. Okay, let him talk about.
I think spotlight is only on his face. If you notice, none of our faces are shining like Anil Kapoor's faces. Like, you know, he's just looking like literally, when they say a star has a star presence, I feel he shouldn't say anything. He's just shining. And I feel he should just remain as, and he's been doing this Spotify commercial. Rightfully, the spotlight is also on him. The right brand also chose him. Anil, I don't have any question to ask you related to the book, but aapki khoobsurti ka kya raaz? I just want to ask you that.
He's a Punjabi.
No,
I'm also Punjabi. It doesn't happen here.
no, of course, I've been very, very, obviously, that's the question of, quite, I think, I've answered it many times, but I don't want to answer it again. Everybody knows the answer. They can look up to all my interviews. But of course, I've been very fortunate. I want to ask one question to
Yes, you must.
Khalid. Okay. Khalid, who had been your when you started writing all the reviews? Because really, there is, of course, as Karan said, the humor in it, and the wittiness in the what was it anyone in the that you were inspired by? Because you see, as an actor, I'm inspired by a lot of actors, and there are certain works which are internationally and national, and I look up to them and I learned a lot from them. So was there anybody who you were inspired by in your writing?
There was an earlier Times of India critic called Mr. Vikram Singh. I was inspired by his honesty because he was very, very honest and he couldn't be approached by anyone. So I tried to be like him in that regard.
And you may be already contemplating. Would it be one more novel or something else?
Yes, I'm already writing it. It's called The Imperfect Prince. It may be read at my brother's death, my half-brother, who was killed in an accident or a murder which was never solved. But it's not going to be about him again. It's going to be a composite of many Jessicas, of many Hukam Singhs who have died and whose murders have gone unsolved. Okay? Thank you.